Hi everyone, it's me Grace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm doing a type of video that I've never really done before. I'm going to be doing a reaction video. So I was just scrolling through YouTube, chilling like usual, and then YouTube recommended me a video by Jensen Tung called I Tried to Learn Cantonese in 7 days. And I just thought, wow, this video is going to be really interesting. Like, oh my gosh, I wanted to watch it straight away, but I was like, how about I wait and then I actually film my reaction so we can like kind of watch it together. I'm not like filming this like to say like, oh, I'm a Cantonese learning specialist and I'm here to analyze his learning techniques. Not like that, but just like, not many people learn Cantonese. And so I just thought it'd be great if you could just watch this video, kind of like look at how he approaches it and like how he does it, maybe learn from it, try and like, just like for me to give you guys my opinion on his learning methods. I'm quite curious to see. And so yeah, I just thought it would be a great video to watch. So I'm going to watch it and react to it today. And yeah, I'll link the video down below so you guys can watch it yourself if you want. And yeah, let's just get into it.
I'm gonna try to learn Cantonese in 7 days. Why? Because I want to prove myself wrong. You see, I'm from a Cantonese speaking family, but being born and raised in Canada, I've always struggled to speak the language. Throughout the years, I've tried my best to learn it. I even flew to Hong Kong in hopes I could absorb it there. I eventually gave up on learning Cantonese because
You see, I just want to say, like, I think this is the situation that a lot of you guys are in. Or not just you guys, but just people in general all around the world, like CBCs, ABCs. Their family speaks Cantonese, but they can't really speak it themselves. And I think in a situation like this, for him, if he wants to be able to speak Cantonese, I would just say, like, just speak it with your family more often. That's simply what I would just say. That's all my advice. So I'm thinking maybe this video, he will, like, utilize his family a lot. I think that would be, like, the wisest way to go about it. And, like, the quickest way as well. Because if you're speaking it every day, then, you'll reach fluency. So let's just see.
that I could never become fluent in it. But recently, I've been watching other YouTubers learn languages quickly, and I thought to myself, what if I attempt to learn Cantonese again? So for the next 7 days, I'm going to try to learn Cantonese with efficient language learning techniques. And at the end of the video, I'm going to test my Cantonese with my mom and see if I can get through an entire conversation with her with only Cantonese. It's day 1 of learning Cantonese, and here is the plan. I have found the 500 most commonly used words in Cantonese, and for 2 to 4 hours each day, I'll be studying them and trying to memorize as many as I can. I will not be learning how to read and write these words because that would take forever. I'll just be learning.
Okay, so I can see he's taken the approach that Nathaniel Drew took when he did his learning Italian in 7 days kind of video. He learned like, the most common words, and then yeah. I think it's perfectly fine for him to like, try and learn it as a learner, right? But I think really the most efficient way is to speak with your mom. Instead of using your mom at the end to test your Cantonese, he should be speaking with her throughout the whole 7 days and learn, because he'll learn a lot that way. That's what I think anyway. But and I feel like a lot of these 500 words, he might already know some of them because of like, just hearing them around the house. So I don't know if this is the most efficient. But anyway, let's just see.
How to say them through Yutping, which is a romanization system for Cantonese.
That's
Unlike other YouTubers who have done challenges like this one, I am not a polyglot. I have no experience in learning lots of languages quickly. All I really know is English and a little bit of Cantonese. Yes, I'm not completely starting from scratch, but I am far from being fluent. I'd say my skill level is around grade 1 in Chinese school. If you saw my Hong Kong travel videos, you know what I'm talking about.
I've actually seen
Let me give you an example, right?
It's a good video.
大家我叫 Jensen。我而家講緊廣東話，我中意食菠蘿包，我希望你哋可以撳個 subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and like this video.
Okay, I'm gonna do that right now.
What I have is that my mind always just blanks out because I just don't
I'm
know the
do
word
that.
for things. I also just
I know how it feels as a YouTuber.
It's never smooth. And so I really hope that in these next 7 days, I get to fill in those gaps in my head. It's day 2, and I feel like I'm off to a pretty good start. The plan for today is to continue going down the word list, but to also engage in other learning mediums. I started watching Cantonese YouTubers and clips from Hong Kong movies with subtitles, and I think this is a really great way to practice comprehension and learn pronunciation. I also...
Definitely, I 100% agree with this. You guys will know that's one of my main sources of learning Cantonese. Hong Kong TV and Cantonese YouTubers, repeating after them to get that pronunciation, and it's great to learn colloquial phrases and everything. So definitely, thumbs up, thumbs up. I definitely agree with this, yeah.
video and film is a little bit more fun and entertaining compared to reading a list of words. Day 3, things are still going pretty well, but I'm starting to feel a little pressure because Cantonese is a hard language. If you don't know, Cantonese is a tonal language and has 6 different tones. In comparison, Mandarin has 4 tones and English has 0. What makes Cantonese even more complicated is that no one really writes Cantonese the way it is spoken. Let's say you want to write, he eats rice. In a normal conversation, you'd say, koi sik fan. And you can totally write those words down. But usually, people write in standard Chinese. So instead of koi sik fan, you'd write ta hek fan, which means the exact same thing. But if you were to say ta hek fan on the streets of Hong Kong, people would look at you funny. Now, if I'm not learning how to read or write in Cantonese, why does this matter? Because of music. Just like film, music is usually another great medium to learn languages from. But it's a little weird with Cantonese music. Many Cantonese songs are written in standard Chinese. So although they're technically singing in Cantonese, it's this poetic, standard Chinese Cantonese with words that no one would really say in ordinary conversation. And when you're trying to learn how to speak from these songs, it's not really what you're looking for.
Definitely, that's my situation. You guys know that I'm not learning how to write Cantonese, and so I don't really listen to Cantonese music because of that. I do listen to some Cantonese music though, and the reason is just for pronunciation. So I think even if you're not actually learning the words from the songs, it can help you with, you know, your pronunciation, right? But yeah, definitely music. Because you guys know also I really am for like using music to learn languages. I have a video on it, how to learn languages with music. So it's kind of a shame that I can't really do that with Cantonese and that he can't really do that either, you know?
I'll still be jamming to Cantonese music, but I don't expect I'll be learning as much from it compared to watching movies or studying the word list. It's day 4 and I'm not gonna lie. I've been having some difficulty trying to just keep up with the amount of words there are and the amount of particles and tones and slang. I feel like I'm not going to be able to learn Cantonese fast enough to have a proper conversation with my mom. And I think that sucks. I just don't want the conversation to be just me pausing every 2 seconds and then relying on Chinglish. I think I'm in the dip right now. If you don't know what the dip is, let me explain to you the concept. Whenever we learn a new language or skill, we're likely destined to face the dip. The dip is the long slog between starting a skill and mastering it. This is the point when you feel the least motivation and the most frustration. The dip is when most of us decide to quit because we don't see the progress or results that we want to see. But if we're able to push through the dip, embrace the hardships, and really focus on the end goal, we will eventually move past it and we will eventually see the results that we're looking for.
I can definitely relate to the dip. You know, a lot of my learning in the languages I learn has been really on and off, you know, because for 3 months you're really motivated, you're learning every single day, and then you experience the dip, and then I stop for a bit, you know, for like months at a time. I'll stop, I just lose motivation, I'm frustrated, and then I'll start again. But the problem with that is starting again, you then have to learn what you've forgotten, because you're not just going to be able to pick up where you left off. You know, you've forgotten a lot of things, so you have to start again, and then that can cause another dip because you feel frustrated that you're not really making that much progress because, you know, you're spending time just going over things, and then you just feel really. So that's why I would just say, if you're experiencing the dip, do not give up. Do not give up, because once you give up, if you come back, it'll be really hard again. So just keep going, you know. Keep going, Gaia. That's what I'm hoping that I'm sure Jensen's gonna keep going. But yeah, definitely.
Concept by Seth Godin. I actually learned it through Mike Boyd's class on Skillshare called How to Learn. I think it's just so fitting because this video is
sponsored by Skillshare.
Skillshare is an online learning. It's day 5, still grinding away, and I've realized that I've kind of been memorizing words wrong. My initial memorization strategy was just to read and repeat words out loud, and it's definitely not the most efficient technique. I've started to implement 2 memorization techniques that are often recommended to language learners. The first technique is association, which is when you break down the sound of a word you're learning and associate it with other words or ideas you are familiar with. Take, for example, the word explain. In Cantonese, it is gai sick. Now in English, that kind of sounds like the words guy sick. So to help me memorize the word, I think of a guy who's sick. Association often naturally leads to visualization, which is when you visualize an image in your head of that association to build an even stronger mental connection. It's day 6, and let's talk about immersion.
Yeah, definitely. These are really good techniques for memorizing. So for me, I would also recommend like finding someone that you can practice with, and then talk about like have a conversation centered on the topic of like the words that you learned. So let's say you learned the food vocabulary, then have a conversation with someone about their favorite food and about food. So you're forced to use the vocabulary and you'll probably hear the vocabulary. I just think when I actually hear a word being used, like by being said by someone or being used in a TV show or YouTube video, I'm more likely to remember it than if I just read it. So just trying to watch videos that are associated with the words that you learned, or trying to have conversations that are associated with the words that you learn, will help those words stick better, as well as visualization and association, definitely.
When learning a language, I believe it's really important to immerse yourself in that language as much as possible. That doesn't mean to just consume a lot of content in that language, though. You'll also need to produce speech, produce thoughts.
Yes,
really
this is my whole...
For the longest time, I didn't understand why I couldn't speak Cantonese fluently, even though I grew up in a Cantonese family. My theory is that because my parents are pretty good at English, unlike other immigrant parents, I could always reply to them in English, and therefore, I never needed to speak or think in Cantonese. There was an imbalance. Thinking back to my time in Hong Kong, I felt like I was truly immersed in the language. I was not only forced to listen to it, but I was forced to speak it, think with it. By the end of the week, my Cantonese honestly improved. With that insight, I've been approaching Cantonese this week by speaking to myself out loud, as well as to my parents. I've also been trying to actively think in Cantonese. All of this has been a little bit awkward, but I think it has really helped me immerse myself in the language at home.
I think that's very great, because as you guys, at the beginning of the video, I thought he was just gonna approach this by just learning words, you know what I mean, like memorizing it, you know, learning grammar, and that was it. Like I was gonna say, you live in a household where people speak Cantonese, like how are you not gonna speak with them? But it's great to know that he's speaking with them, and even to himself, because obviously you're not going to speak with your family 24/7, even to himself and everything, because I really feel like speaking, forcing yourself to kind of like bring the words forward and everything is going to really help your fluency, right? So yeah, definitely.
I've just finished my final study session. Tomorrow, I'm having my full Cantonese conversation with my mom. I'm kind of nervous on how it's going to go, but I think no matter what the outcome is, I'm really proud of myself for taking on this challenge. Let me introduce you to my mom.
Hello， 大家好，我係 Jensen 嘅媽媽。
今日我哋講廣東話。我開始同你講，我用咗7日學廣東話，讀廣東話字。咁今日我要試我嘅廣東話。
咁我睇下你嘅廣東話有唔有進步咯？點解你好想學廣東話呢？
我要學廣東話，因為我覺得廣東話係一個好重要嘅話嚟㗎。爸爸媽媽你爺爺嫲嫲全部講廣東話嘅。爺爺同嫲嫲而家老啲，咁我要學廣東話同佢哋傾偈。
Wow, he's so good, like literally.
我唔識學啦，冇時間同埋我唔知我要做乜嘢學啊！我以前細路仔時候，點解你同爸爸冇送我去中國？唔係中國，中文學校。
嗰陣時你哋細嘅時候，我哋驚你哋英文唔好，咁你哋就侵唔到嗰啲英文學堂嗰啲細路仔一齊讀書咯。我而家又發覺喎，好多人送咗細路仔去嗰啲中文，佢哋都係唔係識講喎。
How's my Cantonese? Not completely fluent.
So good though.
Personally, I don't think 7 days is long enough to learn a language. But if I can stick with what I did this week and extend it across 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, in no time, I will become fluent. I'm putting this on the table right now. My New Year's resolution is to become fluent in Cantonese by the end of 2021.
Yes!
Hopefully, you'll see me again next year with a part 2 of this video. Until then, make sure to subscribe.
Definitely. I subscribed. I turned on the notification bell like he said. I liked the video, everything. This is a great video. I think I'm gonna cut out some parts of the video just so that this video isn't too long. So I will definitely link the video down below. So I recommend that you watch it so you can watch the full video, because he talks a bit more about his motivations for learning Cantonese and everything. I think that's really nice to watch. So I'll link it down below. But yeah, I definitely feel like this was a great video. I'm definitely Jensen, definitely. I really hope that he can meet his New Year's resolutions. And so yeah, I just share with you guys my opinions on the learning methods and also stuff like that. A lot of the stuff that he was saying that I was saying is just like echo things that I've already said before and everything. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this reaction video, please like it, comment down below your thoughts. And yeah, I'm just curious. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!